Happy Valentine's Day! In the name of love and
chocolate,
I'm going to do something completely selfish and self-indulgent. And that is the cat making noise in the background. Stop it. Go do something else cat-like. Come on. And that is try to make one of the Valentine's Day gifts from the phone game Fate Grand Order. A series I originally got into because I am super into mythology. And this one likes to do some interesting takes, but more often than not, they're really, really stupid. For example, in this game there exists evil, female, King Arthur, Santa Claus. And that's not even the worst thing. But I thought it'd be fun to try to recreate some of the gifts these characters from mythology and folklore give you on Valentine's Day. And so in this, I was hoping I could find a hat. All I have is this card case from the Pokemon trading card game, which I guess is on brand for this show. I have 20-something different flashcards with characters' names on them of the recipes I think are most easy to recreate. So let's give this a good shaken, not stirred. And the dish we are going to recreate is... I'm not even looking. It's going to be completely random, whatever it is. Oh, I don't want to do this one. How about... here we go. We're going to make the Valentine's Day cookies given by Bedivere, one of the Knights of the Round Table. Most infamous for A, missing an arm, and also being the knight to return Excalibur to the lake after King Arthur dies. So let's bake some cookies. For decorating the cookies, I'm going to make some jam. As you can kind of see in the image, somewhere, let's put it right there. There's like red markings on the cookies. And while the little dot could be something like a maraschino cherry, I don't like maraschino cherries, and it still doesn't explain the ring. And while I know we have made jam on this show once before, it is a lesson worth repeating, both because I'm going to be adding an additional step, and because a longer video means more view time, and hopefully will make this video do better in the YouTube algorithm. I mean, what? So I have about 1.5 cups of raspberries here, which we are going to murderize with a masher. What a bloody Valentine's Day, I guess. There's a joke in here somewhere. If you find it, like, comment, subscribe. And for about 1.5 cups of fruit, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and hope that's the right amount. Hi. Ah yes, a spatula to match the color of the jam. This is definitely the perfect thing for something. And we are going to bring this to a boil. And once at a boil, it's going to cook for 4-ish minutes. We are definitely at a boil now, so let's set a timer for 4 minutes. And that looks good. And then in order to make the jam look as pretty as possible, I am going to strain out the seeds.
And there was much rejoicing.
For the cookie dough, we're going to need 1 cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar. And we're gonna beat that for about 2 minutes. This would also be a good time to mention that you should probably be using the best butter you can find. since these cookies are pretty simple, you're not going to have like chocolate to cover up the fact that you're using crap butter. And besides, it's Valentine's Day. Even if you're just making cookies for someone you love, like yourself, you should really splurge, right? Whoa! I'm not putting that in the episode. And with your thematically appropriate spatula that I definitely kept nearby. Where's my spatula? Scrape down the sides. And we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Beat that a bit. And while it's mixing, we are going to add in 1 egg plus 1 egg yolk plus a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Pre-blended if you please. And added slowly. As slow as you can stand, knowing that you have a battery on your camera that's gonna die. Alright, now we can kick that up a notch. That wasn't the button I meant. I meant the other direction. Oh well, it seems to be working. And the last ingredient for the plain side of our checkerboard cookies is the flour. Because otherwise, you're just eating sweet butter with a spoon and egg. And mix it up. That almost looks right. It looks a little dry to me. I haven't practiced this yet. Maybe I should put more forethought into my episodes. And we're going to take out half of this. And that half we shall use for the vanilla cookies, of which there are many. It's okay, my hands go in this. I'm the only one eating it, right? A very scientifically grabbed half. Chocolate. 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, unsweetened, not Dutch process, just cocoa powder. Gets added in for our chocolate side of things until it looks right. So far it doesn't look right. It just looks kind of messy. I'm an impatient man. Yeah, that looks fine, right? What's the worst that could happen? Okay, it looks a little less than fine, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And now we shape the doughs. And now it's time to have fun with your inner kid playing with Play-Doh. Not the philosopher. The, toy. Take roughly same amount of dough from both sides. This is also my first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. It's a bit crumbly, and I'm going to try to shape it into a log. It's a bit rough. The cookie is a bit drier than I expected. And then I'm going to try to make it as square as I can get it. Yes, I know what this looks like. You don't need to put a comment. In fact, do put a comment. And let's try to make the same shape of the vanilla one. This is definitely not the right way to do things, by the way. Look up an actual cookie expert, not me. But they're getting very bespeckled. If you wanted a clean Valentine's Day, I'm sorry, this is not the cookie video demonstration for you. And now we take a knife to them. A dough scraper to cut the dough. And we're going to cut these into fourths. And if you wanted to do more complex checkered patterns, you can. But the ones in the art only have 4 sections, so that's what I'm sticking with. Sorry, I was doing that whole thing off screen. Fuse them together somehow. One of these checkerboards needs to be round. So I guess this will be our rounded checkerboard. And then the other one I would like to keep square. So let's try to make that as square as we can. It is an imperfect art, I guess. Just like all things. Except cats. Cats are perfect. My god, cat, what are you eating off the floor? Cinder, stop! Both of these are going in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes before their final cutting. But I also have some other shapes to make, such as circles, rectangles, for rectangles shaped cookies. Who knows, I'm gonna need a lot more circles. I'm kind of just focusing because I don't know what I'm doing. and hoping it works out. Oops, I got a lot of white dough in that one. Oh well. Yeah, so this should be all the shapes you need to imitate what I'm doing this episode. This one's just an extra. And now these all need to chill for 30 minutes before we cut and cook. Not the best setup there for doing this. Ta-da! Actually kind of cute. Not perfect, but cute. Just like cats. Yeah, you know you're not supposed to be up here. Get down. Thank you. Okay, you know what? I kind of like these. Well, that one's a little better. Bigger one turned out a little bit better. Still a bit messy, though. Clearly I am not the cookie artisan I believed myself to be. Okay, that one's not so great. There's one thing I hope I'm teaching you guys, that failure happens, but it's still delicious. Wow, who would have thought? It's not even a perfect circle. And now our little circles, which shouldn't look that impressive to be honest. I'm sure the person who gets to eat these as a gift from me, which is me, will still appreciate them. I was hoping for perfect circles. Maybe I need to do that SpongeBob thing. If I made like a cookie shaped like a head and had erased the more detailed features, I would get the proper shape of cookie. I don't know, they turned out like marble rye, which I guess is to be expected from the way it looked. Man, Bedivere is going to be so disappointed, except he is dead. Again, they just look like domes. Apparently this is the dome shape. The most romantic and Valentine-ish of shapes. Washing my hands off screen. Nice and fast. Baked is fast and I'm homebound. Another thing I'm kind of unsure about is whether to decorate the cookies before or after baking with jam. So we're gonna try both. So we need a couple with just a dot. Whoops. Well, this is definitely too loose. I can tell you that much. Oh, that one might be good. Oh my god. So my jam seems to be a little looser than I would have liked. I don't think I'm gonna get drawing a circle out of it, unfortunately. I think that part might be a flop. And these are going in a 350 degree oven for like, I think it's 10 minutes? I may not have the like nice silver box that Sir Bedivere had, but I do have this lazy egg bento box. That almost works, right? Take a look at my Valentine's Day gift to myself. Happy Valentine's Day to me, I guess. So we have our jam-dropped rectangles, our jam-dropped circles, our circle checkerboards and square checkerboards, and our rectangular chocolate cookie. I wouldn't say the cookies turned out perfectly. These were supposed to be rectangles. They're clearly not. And the jam dot didn't quite work out. I think my jam was a little loose. These are supposed to be circles. They are clearly not. And then the one I'm actually glad with how they turned out are the checkerboards. I think they look like they were supposed to. And a knight serving checkerboard-shaped cookies just makes sense to me. But the real question is, how do they taste? Well, there's only one way to find out. These are surprisingly pleasant. Soft and just barely sandy. I was expecting kind of harder, crunchier kind of shortbread, but that's not the case here. And the flavor of the chocolate's kind of, it's light, but it's nice. Let me try one of the ones that has jam on it. There we go. You did not see me just lick the jam part of a cookie, okay? Don't judge me. No, that's a good combo. Because the cookies themselves aren't that sweet, and then the jam adds a bit more sweetness and a bit more acidity. So even though it didn't look right, it does taste right. In terms of giving these a final rating, I would have to give their shape, the number of hands Sir Bedivere has, out of 10. In terms of flavor, though, I think I'm going to give them a number of stars that Bedivere is worth in the Fate Grand Order phone game, times 3, out of 10. That sounds about right. I'm gonna eat another cookie. It's a tough job. The question of this episode is, if you had one of the Knights of the Round Table bake for you, who would it be and why? I would pick Sir Gawain because he has solar powers, so he must be good at baking. Thank you very much for watching. I'd like to finish this with a little bit more history on Sir Bedivere. Like, did you know that after returning the sword to the Lady of the Lake, he gave up all his knightly pursuits and lived the rest of his life as a hermit? That's kind of relatable, to be honest. Happy Valentine's Day, Cinder. Now that you're on camera, you're completely quiet.